Hey class, how is it going? You're working on your final projects right now. Here we are in our last 2 weeks, which is just bonkers. I can't believe how fast time has flown. It's been so much fun working with you all in recording one this semester. I know it's been a wild one. I so appreciate all of your patience and understanding with me needing to do this hybrid format. And I hope you've had a really fun and enjoyable and fulfilling class. I hope it's been fun for you to get in there and get your hands on the gear and work on some projects. And I hope they go well here, your final projects. So I'm just making you a few little videos here to wrap up some concepts from the course. You won't be quizzed on these videos. These are just kind of for like supplemental extra learning, and also just because we didn't have class tonight here. You might hear my parents' dog Checkers every once in a while that we're watching. She's sitting behind me. So one thing I wanted to go over is I was looking at the syllabus, and one of the course objectives of the syllabus is to have you all understand how to operate a PA system. We didn't quite get there, especially just because we didn't have enough like in-person courses to work with a PA system. But I just wanted to convey that a lot of what you've learned about recording can be translated into a PA system world. So for those of you who don't know, a PA system is just like a public address system. It's what you would have if you want to be able to set up sound for your own show. My band had a PA system for a long time that we would just, speakers, usually like a head with a mixer, sometimes a power amp for the speakers, microphones, mic stands, cables. And so my band would often pack this up in the trailer and take it to maybe an outdoor show. And a lot of your concepts for recording, including, plugging XLR cables into the mixer, setting gain levels, which is, how much volume is coming in from the mic or how big the signal is coming in, and then using those faders to get levels. A lot of those concepts translate into live sound. One of the specific concepts that translates is making sure you don't get feedback. So whenever we talk about being in the recording booth, we say that whenever you're recording, you want to be doing it in headphones, you want to not have the speakers on. One of the reasons for that is to avoid bleed and to be able to mix those individual sounds really well. But another reason is to avoid feedback. And so one tip is if you're ever operating a PA system, you want to make sure that your speakers that are blasting out to the audience, we call those the front of house speakers because they're just playing out to the house. You want to make sure that those are never, what's Checkers doing here? Those are never kind of facing in a way where they could get into the microphone, right? Because that would start creating feedback. So when you think about a PA system, you've got a mixer, you've got, some station there for things to be mixed. And then you've got the front of house speakers, which face the audience. And then you have what's called monitors. So we call the speakers in the booth monitors. They are, and when we're talking about monitors with live sound, you're usually referring to the speakers that the musicians are using to hear their own sound. So those are oftentimes called wedges too. That's another kind of lingo for them. They're oftentimes on the floor, on stage, facing people. And those too, you also want to make sure that those aren't pointed in a way where the signal from a microphone is going to create a feedback loop. So you never want, a monitor wedge pointing directly into a microphone. You're just going to get this horrible feedback loop. So monitors, usually you have a separate mix for those, and oftentimes, bands will want to perform with speakers on stage, giving them an individual mix of what they want to hear. So if I'm the drummer, I want to make sure I can hear the bass player really loud, and I might have other ideas of what parts of the band I want quieter or louder. And so in that environment, there's kind of multiple mixes going on. Sometimes with your mixer, you can just send separate mixes to different places. So you have a monitor mix and a front of house mix. And you kind of listen to what each musician wants to have in their monitor mix. And in today's day and age, a ton of musicians have what's called in-ear monitors. Same concept as a speaker on the stage, helping them hear what they want to hear, but they're just fitted earphones that a lot of bands have. So, ask me some questions if you're looking to learn more about PA systems. Feel free to email me some questions if you're going into that work in the future. I just kind of wanted to go into a little bit of what that can be like just because it's on the syllabus here as a course objective. So if anybody wants to learn more about that, let me know. Otherwise, just know that, XLR cables, dynamic microphones are great for being on stage because they feed back a lot less, right? We always talk about how condenser mics are so sensitive. They're really difficult to use on stage because their sensitivity creates feedback issues. So you want to use dynamic mics on stage, but the rest, you've got in the bag, XLR cables, working with the mixer, having two mixes, a front of house mix and a monitor mix. And that's just kind of some of the basics of a PA system. So let me know if you want to know more about that. And I'm going to make 2 more videos for you here and look forward to hearing from you soon.